All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to my mother's guest bedroom where I am still streaming for the next couple months as I start to try to get a few viewers on this, doing what I normally do. I want to welcome my one and only fan. I hope you decide to join in on this stream. Hopefully, I'll get more fans to join, maybe 2 subscribers. So instead of saying I have a fan, or an only fan, I could say that I have fans. That would be excellent. And so I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking, okay, I'm struggling to get viewers. Not that I truly care, because I'm just like making stuff for fun here. But it'd be great to chat with somebody while I'm making this, besides just random people I know, just to call them up. So that gave me an idea. I was like, how do I get more people to watch? Well, the stuff I've been making is kind of a little bit generic. So I was thinking, you know what? You know what people really, really like? They like Harry Potter. Yeah. All right. So we're going to be making a Harry Potter choose your own adventure game with AI, with VO, with Supabase. So we're also integrating AI into this game. So you're going to actually be talking to an AI to help walk through adventures, I guess, at Hogwarts or in the Potterverse, the Wizarding World, whatever you want to call it. And so to do that, we're going to be using ChatGPT, 11 Labs, VO, Supabase. I think that's it. So we're just going to play around and get there as quick as we can here, probably in about an hour, something like that to do it. So let's just jump right on in. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Okay, perfect. So here's what we're going to do. As always, we're going to go to chat and we're going to talk to chat. By the way, actually, now that I think about it, this is the first video I'm actually going to be introducing Supabase, which is a backend database we're going to be connecting to VO. Okay, this is all prompt-based. You do not have to be a professional coder to do this. You can follow along in this tutorial and make your own stuff. You could do this one and make your own choose your own adventure for something else and actually have a login and everything working that you can show your friends. So it's pretty cool. So let's just start with ChatGPT. Now, there's a couple things we need to do. We need to plug in a ChatGPT assistant. So let's just go to OpenAI. Okay, so OpenAI, which is the company that runs ChatGPT, they have a slightly different URL here. So basically, we're going to be going to this in order to get to the URL. Let me see here real quick. Okay, perfect. So here we have assistant. So you'll notice with chatgpt.com, it's a little bit different. This is platform.openai.com. Okay, so we basically have assistants that we can choose from. I've made quite a few and played around with a bunch. We're just going to create another one. And we're just going to call it Harry Potter Choose Your Own Adventure. Okay. So we're going to give it a prompt. It is connected to VO, which is fantastic, or 4.0, which is fantastic. And then we don't need a code interpreter or anything like that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, there's a couple things I do want to mention. People talk frequently about AI hallucinating. A lot of that has to do with the temperature that's set for the AI. So in this case, we're actually going to roll it way back. For whatever reason in here, you can't roll it back too far, but I'm going to set it to 0.01, meaning that it will actually just talk to, it'll basically address the prompt as is. So it's not going to add a ton of other stuff. It's going to follow the instructions, okay? Sometimes you don't do that, it can break. So, be really careful. You want to ideally set the temperature again to as low as possible. I'm pretty positive you can set it to 0, but it's fine. We'll just do 0.01. And what we're going to do is we're going to create prompts and we're going to actually add in files as well. Okay, files here function as what's called a knowledge base, and it basically leans on those very heavily. So you want your prompt to be not too long, and a knowledge base can be hundreds or thousands of pages that it can reference. And so the prompt is telling it what to do. The file base is the most important items to reference. So let's just start with this. So I'm going to actually do 2 of them. So there's Gemini, and then there's O3. Okay, deep run research. And I'm going to have to close this window because this dog right next door will not stop barking. So I don't know if it's going to stop barking or not. But okay, so we have deep research basically. Let me close that real quick. Sounds like two dogs fighting outside. All right, so now my dog's barking. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We need to fill up the knowledge base. We need to also create a prompt. So I'm gonna have ChatGPT create a prompt, and I'm gonna start a knowledge base as well, because the deep research takes a lot longer than other things. So let me actually start by talking to ChatGPT and explain what we're making. Making a choose your own adventure ChatGPT game where we can talk to ChatGPT assistants and choose our own hair and choose our, well, let's just say talk to ChatGPT assistants who are prompted and have a full knowledge base of the world they're creating for the user. This first one takes place in the Harry Potter universe, specifically at Hogwarts. I need you to write. Okay, wait a second. I'm thinking that we need some deep research prompts to build out the knowledge base. What are your thoughts on this? Again, you know, ChatGPT is really good at helping build itself, so let's go ahead and see if this works and what it can create here. Okay, so prompt. List every name, room, corridor, secret passage, notable feature inside Hogwarts Castle. Mention 7 cannons for each. For each, give physical description, function permissions, narrative events tied to it with book and chapter. Compile chronological dossiers of Hogwarts staff who appear. For each, include. You know what we should do with the game? I was thinking about having it be completely separate from the Harry Potter story, but I'm wondering if maybe we could have us actually interacting with Harry Potter as this happened and basically essentially be a side character in the game with other adventures going on simultaneously as you're going through. So maybe we could do that. Let's just see. Okay, for all Hogwarts staff. Okay. Student roster. Magical system. Wow, that's a lot. Quidditch data. Run each prompt against a model with access to full text novel padded. Split outputs into small source links, JSON chunks. Store in your knowledge base table. Tag each chunk with metadata. Okay. Build process. Can you write the prompts I will copy and paste into GPT deep research inputs? Let's just see if we can do all this. And then we'll start building out the knowledge base. We'll start building out some other things and we'll be good to go. Just so you know, again, the longest thing is going to be the research. So I wanted to start building that out right now. That's why I'm starting it, if you're wondering, because the deep research takes the longest to do. All right. Wait, what? To 90 chars. More data. Okay, so they're kind of limiting it. 90 characters seems short for each of these. Seems a little weird, but that's okay. Keeps you inside fair use. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Okay. So we're going to go through one by one. And so let's just try the first one. So we're going to do this. And we're going to do another physical space explicitly named in the books. Okay, so it's going to start. So I'm just going to start a list over here. So that's the first one. Here's the second one. Yes. Okay, yeah, we're going to do all of that. And then the third one. And so we just go one by one, building out all this, and you'll see why. I'll just say everyone. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Put the one I'm using on top, 4. What was it, like 9 of them? All spells. So we're going to get everything. 5. Let's see. To ensure I gather exactly, can you confirm? That's right. So we want to have unique adventures as well. So, you know, we wanted, I think this would be interesting if we could actually have it be run along with the Harry Potter story. Okay, they just keep asking the same exact question. That's fine. We'll just say yes to everything. Sure, if I'm not going to run out of deeper research ones. I think there's a limit when you have plus. I'm going to say everything here. We'll keep going. Run deep research. Let's see. Everything. Let's write everything for each of them. Okay. Everything. Again, you never know when it's just going to pop up in conversation here. See, these are going now, so they're creating everything here. It's going to do the research. It's going to be referencing a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, we'll just do everything. So, it's going to include all of these. We're then going to go into the AI assistant. Yeah, I'm not going to, you could use Google Gemini if you want to. I could have tested it out, but I'm not willing to wait like 20 or 30 minutes to see which one has more Harry Potter knowledge. I'm pretty positive the people making both of these would each add in tons of knowledge, and they're referencing the internet, so it's probably fine. So we're going to use this Harry Potter Choose Your Own Adventure. We're going to create a prompt next to reference the file. So let's go here and say, okay, the knowledge bases are being created. Now I need a prompt to give the assistant that I'll be playing the game with. Can you ask me questions to help figure out the best way to do this? Okay. Let's see what it says. What point of view should the assistant use? No. Second person. Two. Do you want purely text choices? Let's see. 5 choices. That's right, guys. Most choose your own adventure books, 2 choices. This guy, 5 choices. We're going with 5. You're going to have a lot of choices to decide what happens for each. Unless there's a reason to have more or less. Unless there's a very specific text choices. 5 text choices. 5 text choices. Never let them choose something that is not provided as a choice. They must choose one of the options. To continue, let's just say. You got to be very, very specific with your prompts here. So that's, again, why I'm having it write this out, because when I put the prompt in, I really want it to be extremely specific. Now, which year at Hogwarts is the player starting in? The first year that Harry started at Hogwarts. We'll be playing alongside him. We'll be going through the adventure, the exact same timeline as the Harry Potter books, but we'll have completely different adventures with occasional run-ins. Occasional run-ins with the main Harry Potter characters. Should the assistant track game stats, inventory, spell list, house points, health? They should track it and be able to recap it when asked. But don't tell them every turn. Can, add these things as options as the player progresses. 5. Any hard content limits? No character deaths, no unfair. No. Let's see what it does. Do you want difficulty setting? Single default challenge. Single default challenge. But they should be able to lose the game. How should the assistant handle invalid or rule-breaking actions? Hard refuse. Is the game open-ended sandbox or a main quest? AI will create quests as the game progresses. Results vary. It should not be completely open-ended. Should be things they're trying to achieve. 9. Will the player control only themselves or command only themselves and be accompanied by, friends they make teachers they're with, etc. Okay, so you're not making choices for other characters. How often should the assistant pull background lore from the knowledge base? Only when asked. Weave it into descriptions. I want to add member berries. I don't know if the AI will know that. Nostalgic moments for the players to enjoy. Okay. 11. Do you need the assistant to cite sources, justify lore? No citations needed. Okay. And then 12, should the assistant stay strictly spoiler-free for later books? No. Give everything away. They should be intertwined a little bit with the main narrative of the Harry Potter books. They should be intertwined with the main narrative of the Harry Potter books on their own adventures and quests in the world. Okay. All right. I think that's pretty good. That's some pretty good questions. Master for second person who's on adventure, Hogwarts access, narrative style. Okay, great. So they're going with everything. Okay. Okay, good. I like that. Okay, so let's add this prompt in here. So now we have the prompt, and let's see how these are coming along. All right. Like I said, it's gonna take a long time. We went through and we created the whole prompt, and it's still going through all of these. And you can see this one's already at 21 sources for staff and professors. This one's at 32 for potions. So yeah, it's gonna take a little bit, but that's okay because I'm the only one in here, so there's no reason to wait. But that's okay. I don't mind making this. So okay, great. We have this prompt. Okay, so the prompt is ready to go. So next up, let me see the best way to do this. We want to work in VO. We want to do 11 labs. Let's real quick, just for fun, while this is happening, let's check out 11 labs. Okay, here we go. So we're going to do voices. And I think they got an upgrade recently, which would be really cool. Drag and drop, perform, organize. Okay. So okay, I need a filter here. I want the newest ones. Let's go with English. Last time I used it, there were a couple voices that were just phenomenal. Accent, obviously British. We want storytelling, character and animation, conversational, highest quality. I don't know yet. Could be a man or woman. I'm not really sure. Well, I don't know about the age either. Yeah, let's just see.
The waves of the ocean are like nature.
You'll be on first name terms.
And here we have a calm, well-spoken narrator, full of intrigue and wonder.
Hi, I'm Amelia.
Grimblewood Thornwhisk.
Other than water, tea is the most consumed beverage.
Hi, I'm Frank.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils.
Maybe.
The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world.
If you really think you're alone at night, hiding under the covers, I can assure you, you're very much mistaken.
Okay. We're going to add that one. Which one's really popular? That's interesting. This one's really popular.
The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Hello.
If you really think...
You were looking for a teenage narrator and I was waiting for you.
Leave me alone! What?
Conservatives cherish the echoes of stead.
Hello, I'm Jane. A great voice for any form of narration where you need a strong, older female voice.
Maybe.
Easygoing and real, this voice feels like a...
The courage to start is the...
The room was silent.
Flicker.
Revolutionary design. Effortless perform.
The US Embassy said...
Once upon a time.
Life is what happens.
All happy families are alike. It's not about what we have or what we achieve, but about how we experience each moment.
Architecture is the thoughtful arrangement of space to
I like
uplift
that one,
the
actually.
spirit.
Once upon a time, in a quaint little village nestled...
In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity.
Hiya, I'm Jay.
Once upon a time, an unlikely hero was forged from...
Architecture is the thoughtful arrangement of space to uplift the spirit.
Okay, so let's go and see my voices. Whoop. Okay, I guess I got a bunch from other things I was doing. Oh, where's that?
Once upon a time, in a quaint little village... Step into the fire of storytelling, where...
The people who are crazy.
Art is the rainbow that fills.
I have a deep, whispery tone. Evil is evil.
The name is Jack.
If you really think you're alone at night, hiding under...
Hello, I'm Jane.
Maybe I'll
A
go with
great
Jane.
voice
It's so,
for any
like, you
form
know,
of
nice and
narration
kind of...
where you need a strong...
Architecture is the thoughtful arrangement of space to uplift the
I think
spirit.
Jane and Bradford are the two I'm going to check out and test out here. So we're going to keep them here, and that's fine. So then let's see if any of these are done. None are done. This one's done. Oh, wow, they really did put it into that format. Okay, so that is fine. I'm going to download the PDF, and we're going to go to the assistant, and we're going to go to File Search. Okay. And we're just going to upload from our downloads here, potions list. Okay, we'll just keep adding them as we get them. So this one's done. Yep, okay. Quidditch. We still have more. I was hoping to kind of test out the game. So one thing I like to do is kind of test out the assistant when everything's ready to go. We're getting kind of close there. So, you know, we'll kind of see how it starts. And we'll need to trigger it with like a hello response or something like that, but that's fine. Okay. While this is happening, we have the narrative block. Do they have... Let me see. Okay, yeah, it's starting with the first year. The timeline of the book. Or will it jump around? Yeah, we want to make sure that it's still following the timeline of the book. No, that's okay. We don't need to do that. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I figured they're all going to they're going to stop around the same exact time. We have all of the locations. Wow, look at that. Okay. Hogwarts locations. And then all the staff and their dossiers. This is crazy because putting all of this together would have taken me forever. Let's see what else. Okay, magical creatures. Let's add that in. Oh, this is the Hogwarts timeline of events. Oh. Okay, we're getting closer. We have 11 labs ready to go. I'm just going to move this over here. We have our assistant kind of getting ready to go. Okay, so next up, we need to start explaining what we want and how we want this to do. Okay, so like how we want this to basically be laid out in the app. So we essentially want to tell it, I'm creating a full stack application for this game using vo.dev, Supabase, 11 labs as the voice of the narrator, and a ChatGPT assistant as the narrator and game guide. So let me think about how I want to build this out. Okay. What I want you to do is help me flesh out the details of this project. Create a simple UI. Then write the prompts for for vo.dev and Supabase. Start with the details of the project. In my mind, a player signs up, then they can start a solo adventure. When they start, the game begins their name, which will then be used in the prompt for the assistant to reference later. Now, this might actually cause some problems. How do you think about this? You know what? I might actually get rid of this, because the problem is when you provide certain information, like when you're trying to pass in custom information that it remains in memory, it causes some issues. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that now. How about instead of this? The game begins by asking, by letting them choose one of 10 random names, 5 for boys and 5 for girls. It then asks, no, okay. Be a big chat box taking up most of the screen with a text input at the bottom. There should also be a place where they can choose to record their voice. Actually, not a text input. There should be a big chat box taking up most of the screen, which is where the we'll have the AI assistant story unfold. This should take up the left side, 50% on the left side, while the other right 50% should show an image describing what the user chose based on the AI's previous question. No, I don't know. We'll say, yeah, if you're on the right side, show an image describing the events as they unfold. Well, we can figure that out later. Okay, and then I want the choices to be clickable boxes or clickable buttons. Okay. Is there anything else? Oh, the 11 labs voice should automatically read the text provided from the ChatGPT assistant. And then, so that's what's going to happen. They're going to click. They're going to hit play. They choose the name. It starts. It gives them choices. They click a button, and then it does more choices. They choose more buttons, and it just kind of keeps going. Okay. I think that's fine for right now. We're going to keep it fairly open. Again, I've done this before with a little bit of like Dungeons and Dragons. You can make it super open-ended, which again, you don't really want to do. Dungeons and Dragons is a naturally open-ended game, but the problem is that can lead people to have a lot of options. So let's just do, what questions do you have for me about the gameplay or UI? Anything else I'm not thinking of? Okay, so let's see. This is done. Let's get all this. Hogwarts student list. So now we got our students we're going to be interacting with. Okay, the spells we have. I also don't believe there's any difference in how you order these at all. Don't think it matters. I even don't think you have to do it like this, but, you know, I don't know. This is what ChatGPT recommends, and you think ChatGPT would know, considering that it's a ChatGPT assistant we're going to be using. So hopefully it's giving us the best suggestions here. Oh, I see. It's including sources. Yeah, okay, well, that makes sense. So that way you can reference it easier. Okay, that actually makes complete sense. Let's see. Hogwarts Day in the Life details. Culture breakfast mail. Culture daily schedule. Astronomy midnight. Curfew. All this stuff. Okay, wow. Okay. And then... okay, let's do one. Do players need multiple save slots? Save slots is fine. So they can, you know, have multiple threads they can pull up. They want to start a new game. Come back to one later. 2. Turn timing. Should the server enforce a time limit? No, definitely not. Loss handling. On game over, do you wipe state or let them rewind to the previous choice? Let them rewind. That would be better. Updated in the prompt. It probably does. 4. Image source. OpenAI. 5. Image consistency. Not right now. Have them be organic. Have them be unique each time. That's fine. Voice selection. Let's start with a voice.
Architecture is the thought.
Hello, I'm Jane. A great voice for any form of narration where you need a strong, older female voice.
Well, I'm right here. Voice ID for 11 labs. Go with that one. 7. Voice sync. Starts TT playback only after full. Text arrives. 8. Yeah, we're not going to stream it. Choice count deviation. If the assistant ever runs does not equal 5 options, should front end reject and reprompt? Definitely adapt the UI. 9. Text display. Where, when should we surface inventory house points? Have a section at the top of, have a section at the bottom right below the image to show these details in the UI. I like that idea a lot, actually. Cheats backtracking. Allow undo last choice or strictly linear. Linear. Unless they die. Then they can go back. 11. Mobile layout. Collapse the vertical stack or keeps... boy, I didn't even think about doing mobile layout. This is going to be kind of weird. Vertical stack, I guess. 12. Accessibility. Need keyboard navigation for buttons and screen reader? No, we okay, fine. Yes, do that. theme, light or dark toggle, house color accents. It's been chosen. No, actually, this is going to complicate things. Let's just do light, dark toggle. Okay, and 14. That actually is kind of cool, where we could actually do it where when you get a choice. So here's the crazy thing. So AI assistants, they have, I wish this would go through because then I can show you. They basically, oh, right here, they have functions. You can actually pass a function into the code. So let's say, for example, you choose Gryffindor. You could then have it toggle and change whatever you want to have happen in the app. So you could change the background to be red, like the whole background could be crimson. Just like, you know, you could have like a deep green if you were Slytherin. So you could change things in the UI that interact with the assistant. That's the crazy thing. Nobody's doing stuff like this. So again, that's another reason I want to make these videos, is to show people what's really possible, because this is easy to do, or it's easier than people think. And so, yeah, we should totally be playing games like this right now. So let's keep going. 14, loading state, spinner, skeleton text, or typewriter animation for sure. 15, audio controls. Controls on are optional. Just mute, I guess, per turn. Autoplay on. Just global mute. Oh. Yeah. We'll have an autoplay option only. After sign up, do we immediately launch character creation? Dashboard of saved adventures and a button to start a new one. 17, onboarding after sign up. Do we immediately, oh, wait a second. Yeah, 17. Single game sessions table with JSON state blob or normalized tables, inventory stats. Single game session. You're not carrying over your stuff to future games. Audit and analytics. Store each choice for analytics. Heat map. No. Definitely don't have to do that. This is just, I'm literally making like a basic one. I'm not trying to show everything, but you can see already the details it can go into. It's nuts. You can go into so much detail and really create a fully fledged application if you wanted to, including collecting payments and stuff like that. So rate limits, hard ceiling, no. Since there's nobody even viewing this, I'm assuming I'm the only one who's going to be playing the game, and that's fine. You know, again, it would be great if I could show other people this, but that's okay. Role-based access. Any admin UI for manually editing a user's state or viewing stats. No, I don't need admin access. Real-time updates. Yes, always real-time. 22, edge functions. Host GPT, 11 labs column, separate server. Host GPT, 11 labs calls on Supabase edge functions or separate server. Vercel API routes. Let's do Vercel API routes because I just think it's better at dealing with code there. Cache identical GPT prompts per game turn template. Always hit fresh. We're not going to cache. 24. Image and audio storage. No. 25. On the home page during sign up. 26. Kids data. No. Okay, answer these and I'll draft. Okay, that was a lot of questions. I normally don't get 26. I normally get like 10 to 15 maybe, so 26 is quite a lot. Let's see, the timeline is still going. This one might be a big one. Again, we kind of need an accurate timeline of events that happen, so might be a lot more that goes on here with this. And once we have that, we're going to add it in here. And then chunk tokens, chunk overlap. Text content extracted from the uploaded files above will be split into chunks of sizes defined. Default tokens. Yeah, that's fine. File search. Okay, here we go. Now, here we have the architecture. Yep, Next.js, plain REST, on Vercel for API routes, Supabase Postgres for state and real-time channel and game session ID, OpenAI ChatGPT for narration, 11 Labs. Okay. Assistant system prompt. Oh, okay. They changed the prompt quite a bit. Okay, so we need to change that. Okay, so we need to be really, really careful with this as we go through. So I just want to make sure that all this is correct. So they changed the prompt a little bit. The schema, they have a game session. The game session is tied to the UID, and the game session has the thread of the assistant. The thread conversation. Let's see. So the backend, okay. Include the assistant conversation. Okay. Entire, let's say Supabase SQL prompt that I can copy and paste in directly. Okay, so I also really like to make sure that I can copy and paste all this stuff in. So let's see what it does. Okay, create table. If not, there we go. Policy. Okay, let's see how this works. We're going to create a new Supabase. Oh, something might be off with Supabase. I might need to delete a project. Yep, project is paused. Is this project paused? What's the status? My only concern is that these projects are not going to let me do it. Project is paused. Project is paused. I think you can only have a certain amount of projects. So let's make sure. No project. Project is paused. These projects are still active, which doesn't make any sense. Let me see if I can pause this, or maybe I'll just delete the project. No, see, they make you do it in Vercel Marketplace. This is very, very frustrating. Pause. Projects on a paid plan will always be running. I don't think I'm on a paid plan. I guess I am. So maybe I'll just do it in here. Let's give it a try. Oh, see, that's the thing. Okay, this is very strange. You might run into this weird problem. I need to delete just a bunch of these. I just have too many of these in here. Too many that I've played around with. Oh. Okay, let me just go back and I'm just gonna try to create one, and let's just hope that this works. No, I want to create a new organization. Okay, organization name is going to be, what are we doing? Like Hogwarts, choose your own adventure. HP, choose your own adventure. Let's create the organization. Fingers crossed that I can create a project in here. Okay. HP, choose your own adventure. let's go with not very strong. There we go. Okay, then we create the project. Okay, so you create an organization, create the project. Now, next where we're going to go is to SQL editor here. And wait a second, let me make sure. What happened to my SQL editor? New SQL snippet. Okay, so what we can do is we can actually grab all of this. This is a prompt, okay? This is a prompt specifically for Supabase in order to create the entire database with the schema that we want, okay? So we're going to basically create a table for game sessions that includes ID, user ID, slot name, assistant thread, state, turn index, created at, and updated at. So it's going to contain all this stuff. There's a few other things. Again, I'm not a back-end dev, so I've done front-end most of my life, so I pretty much just rely on the AI to tell me what's right and wrong. And then I Google stuff if I don't really know. That's okay. Okay, great. So it said success, no rows returned. This is correct. If you do not get this while you're going through this process, copy and paste the error into ChatGPT. It'll rewrite the prompt for you. Okay, but now we can go to table editor and we see game sessions in here. Okay, so we have the ID. We have all those things that it added in. And we should also have authentication. This should be working too. Let me make sure there's something I need to change. Let me see. Okay, in email. So you go to sign in providers or something a little annoying. Get rid of confirm email and security email changes. Enable email provider for now. It'll just keep things a lot simpler. Okay, let's go through this. Next, we're going to, this is actually probably good. Okay, so this is done. Next, create the full vo.dev prompt that I can copy, paste in. One click. So let's see what it does for this. This one will be a lot more readable for me, but believe it or not, sometimes it actually writes prompts in such a weird shorthand, and I'm just shocked that it can actually get it right. Well, it's kind of crazy. Well, let's see what it does here. Build a full stack, yes, yes, backend, yes. Okay. See, it doesn't do it, like it didn't give it to me all in copy and paste. I basically have to copy and paste this whole thing. I don't understand. Sure, it's all in a single text box that can be copied and pasted. I'm always worried. I think I could just drag it and just copy and paste it all, but I'm always worried that it's like missing something because it didn't follow the instructions directly. So let's see if it gets it all this time. There we go. This is looking better. Route pages, dashboard, zoom layout. Is there a login in here? I'm not seeing a login. Boy, you know what? I'm not even going to care. Let's see what it does, and then we won't even worry about it. So again, do large. It just seems to do better. We're just going to copy and paste this in directly. And then it's going to start building. And hey, this one's done. Let's see how many events we got. We got a lot of events. That's a lot of events. Much more than the other stuff. No wonder why. Okay. Okay, so we're going to take this. Download it. Even taking longer to download. See, so it has this whole thing just in order. Okay, it'll be so interesting to see how this plays out. What we could also do is after we get all this stuff in there, we could have, make sure we just prompt the AI to tell a story that follows a similar timeline. But again, that's the goal. Is it should be following a similar timeline, just different. You also notice that last file was a lot larger than the other ones. So we have that. this is good to go. Okay, so that's good. Can you update this prompt to include the changes, any changes we made? I'll say, can you update this GPT assistant to include any changes we made? Or anything we might have missed the first time. Let's see what it does. So it's writing all the code now. Save slot card component, loading spinner, theme. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna have to do a few things here. Oh, they included a lot more. So again, make sure it's all in a single copy and pastable text box. I don't know why it doesn't do that. I need to like put that somewhere. Yeah, sure. Let's give you feedback on which one. Okay, well, they're both in a text box. Are these the same size? Why is this one? Oh, it's just because that is longer. They're roughly the same. I prefer this one. So I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it into the assistant. And I'm going to get rid of that whole version thing. Okay. Now, we have the game that we can actually start kind of testing out a little bit. Oh. Okay, now, there's a few things that I need to get in here, okay? So I need to get the Supabase URL, the Supabase Anon key, and the 11 Labs API key. Now, I can't walk you through that right now, but I can tell you that it's in the project settings. So you get the API key here. I think it might also be data API key for Anon. I'm not sure. They're kind of split up. And then you go to 11 Labs to get that. So I'm going to do that on these other pages real quick. Oh, let me show you real quick how this even works. So you copy this, you hit the settings, you hit environmental variables. Oh, you know what? I need to save all of these. Hold on one second. Let me save these somewhere. These are the environmental variables that it's going to reference so I can use these things. Okay. And now I hit environmental variables. And I'm going to add new. I'm going to add 3 of them. And so I just copy and paste those 3 right here. And then on the right side, I put the corresponding key, okay? And so I'm just going to do that separately here because I'm doing this live. And I don't want to go through an update. So the URL, let me see. There we go. And the Supabase Anon key. The URL is under data API. The Anon key is under API keys in settings, okay? And then in 11 Labs, you go to, I think it's bottom left, so I'm going to click on my own face and click API key. And I'm going to do create key. And I'm going to name it HP Choose Your Own Adventure. And I'm going to create, copy to the clipboard, paste it here, save it. Okay. And now I'm back here. Okay. And then in your environmental variables, you should see it here. And you could copy it directly, or you can click the little eye so you can see it and make sure it matches up. So that's fine. And then I'm back to 11 labs as well. Okay. Let's go to voices and my voices. So I think we're already good with 11 labs, but just in case. Okay. So this one's done too. All right. So here's what we have. There was an initial error. So I'm going to hit fix with VO. That can happen sometimes. I'm not sure why. And it looks like there's also mocked games to show. I don't really need that. I don't know why it's including mock games. I don't believe I asked it to do that, but it just did it initially. Here's the schema. So you have a user. The user has, basically their IDs. Now, again, I'm surprised that there's no login, but that's okay. I didn't specifically request it, so that's also why. But that's cool. It doesn't really matter. At least I don't think it does. I'll have to play around and see, because I might need to update it to include a user. But received error fetching sessions. Okay. Hold on a second. Well, let's just do fix VO. Let me talk to this chat and say, noticed that there is no login or username for VO. Is there supposed to be? Was that built out in Supabase using the SQL? Let's see what it says. So again, you just kind of want to talk and go through this stuff and see what works and what doesn't work. Counts of tables, we created game sessions, use user ID references, which points to the built-in user table. You still need to put in a sign up. Okay. That's the problem. Write a prompt for vo.dev to include a sign up and sign in form. Keep it simple. Connect to Supabase. I sure hope this doesn't cause a lot of problems because I feel like we're adding it on later. I like my initial prompt. I want to get every single thing in there. We just happen to miss this. So, it happens sometimes. Okay. So we're going to go to here. Paste that in. I want to make sure next public Supabase URL. Is that what it was? Next public Supabase. Okay. We're doing this because I think this is what's going on. It messed it up with whole fetching sessions. It can't fetch sessions if it doesn't have a user. And unfortunately, the main page is not the login. So it kind of messed it up. Let's see. I don't think I need to restart the whole thing. Sometimes I restart entirely from scratch. But while we're doing this, we can type in and say hello. And let's see what happens. Should then prompt me with something. Okay. Oh. It's prompting it. So it's giving you the names to choose. Okay. So let's see. Let's say we just choose Oliver. So here we go. So it's giving you options. So this is the game. So the game is going to be JSON data so that the code can actually just quickly add these in, which is great. That's actually keeps it really, really simple. Even the image prompt has it. It then saves your name. It saves additional data as you go each time. This is actually really, really cool. So on the Grave Hall, you step forward in the hat. Where's where you consider where you belong. And so you choose, say Gryffindor. Let's see if this one. There we go. Look at that. So we got a login. Okay. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to sign up. Let's just do okay. Signed in successfully. Okay, see, this was my concern. If you don't have it built out, then it kind of messes up. So I'm just going to, let me check something real quick because I want to deploy it to production, test it there. Let me make sure, let me check Supabase. I should be, so in authentication, I'm in here. So it did add me in there. I think this was just an error because of what happened, because they had the original dashboard be at just like the homepage, basically, like just the /. And so because of that, I think we need to basically adjust this. So let's see what happens. Also, it's not going to look like this. It only looks like this because everything I have is on dark mode. But as you can see, this is already working. Sorting hat shouts, Griffin on our table. Let's blah, 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 blah. The night is filled with laughter and stories. You feel warmth in your new home. Yeah, so then you could just go and do different things. So that's really cool. Okay. Let's see what happens when it deploys. It looks like I am past the 60-minute mark, but that's okay. Let's see where we're at here for this. Okay. I'm able to sign in. Okay, let's see. I think I know what's happening. Again, it has router issues. I've mentioned this before. This is one thing you don't really kind of want to mess up early on. So let's just see. Might be fine. Okay, let's just see if we can get this working. Yeah, if we would have got that in, we'd probably be almost done here. It would have probably just worked. As you can see, the assistant's pumping out the information we want. The code just needs to make sure it's receiving it and that 11 Labs is connected and all that good stuff. But for the most part, I mean, it looks like we're basically done here. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I'm just hoping that the router issue can get fixed so we can get this solved here. Because, yeah, like I said, I'm here as a user. And I can see that I even just signed in and when I was creating everything. So even my last sign in was 1949. What? Okay. It's 1950 now because, yeah, I did it a minute later. So it's letting me sign in. It's just not taking me anywhere. So it's a router issue, I believe. So let's just see if this is solved. And of course, we want to fix the UI. You know, we're going to have to do that another day, but you know, we can test it out and see what works. Usually means that the without server isn't recognized a new session. No, I think well, see, this is, geez, I might just restart the whole thing, to be honest with you. If they mess up the route again and it keeps giving me this problem, it's going to try to force redirect. Okay, let's see. Oh, good. Okay, that's fine. So, oh, I didn't deploy it. Okay, let me deploy it. And then, I don't know why we have these mock adventures. Is that even in? That's not even in the database. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to delete these mock adventures, but that's fine. What is this error? Okay. Did this one just pop up? At endpoint. I think this actually is a real error. But let's see. Okay. Okay, there we go. Create new adventure. Sure. Okay, that's weird that it's asking me because I definitely did not do that. Okay, yeah, this is the problem. So, dang. Okay. Let me think about this. Okay, let me think about this. I wonder if I could just delete everything. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay. Hold on. Not having this. Yeah, I'm just. So there's two options here. We just keep trying to fix it, which it might fix. Or just restart the entire thing. I don't want to really restart the whole thing. Let's see what happens. And if I was going to restart the whole thing, though, I'd also make sure that it adds some kind of like magical background. It seems, I'm not loving this. It just seems so plain and boring. Anyway, let's see what happens. Kind of the same error. This time with fetch user session. Yeah, maybe it'll fix it. It's the problem is when you start off without the login and sign up, it can really, really mess it up. So I might actually create a whole other VO simultaneously and just see how it goes. Yeah, see. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we're going to create a brand new prompt. So here's one prompt, and then we're going to get the next prompt. Let's go down here. Okay, so we're just going to make it more magical as part of the prompt for sure. Let's see. Okay. Again, we could keep logging in. I'm not super confident this is going to work, but maybe it will. It probably will eventually work, to be honest with you. it's just going to take some time. So we're just going to start again and just see how that goes. Again, this is just kind of what happens. It's easy to make a mistake, and it typically comes. Copy and paste prompt. I need to put that somewhere so that make sure it's always in a single copy and paste prompt. We're so close. We're so close. I'm way over time now. I'm already 15 minutes over, and I'm sure it's going to be like another 15 minutes at least. No! Single prompt. All right, there we go. There we go. Let's do it. Let's see how that game works. Let's log into this one again and fix the next error, as I'm sure a bunch will pop up. Okay. Unexpected token. Okay, so we'll just do both at the same time. So I'm going to debug this as we go through. Turn back to light. Okay, we're going to inspect. We're going to go to network. And we're going to hit create and the session. And there's no response. Oh, I can just do that. And we'll just say errors in the console. Create a new game. Okay, so this one should hopefully be better and be a lot cleaner. And you'll actually get to see that too, because there's a good chance this one added a bunch of stuff to try to solve it, possibly. Actually, it doesn't look like it really added too much, so. Yep, so again, it's just changing the route. It just messes it up. If you don't get the login and you try to add it later, it just causes major, major problems. I don't know why VO struggles with this. It can do other things so well. But there's something about that which it just cannot do. Again, yep, just try to fix it. Okay, this one's going through. Oh, okay. Oh, you know what it didn't ask for? Oh my goodness, you know what just occurred to me? It didn't ask for anything with the ChatGPT API. Well, we'll have to see. Might have to add that in later. Oh, creating an adventure. Let's see if it works. Okay, it's loading the adventure, so it's not actually doing it. So again, I'm going to have to give it the error that it has. And then I'm going to ask, does this prompt include the connection to ChatGPT's assistant I created? So, which is the game master? Story. Again, it probably missed that. Are already implemented. Why would it assume that? Front end endpoints. Yes. If you still need that middleware, add it to the Vercel API route. Let's see. There have been a lot of instances where I just restart entirely. But again, as you can see, it's much faster to restart and normally does better. Copy paste low. It will scaffold both the Magic UI and the server-side Vercel routes. It did not include the Open API assistant. Okay, so let me go through. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. OpenAI. Yeah. Okay. It wasn't getting the assistant. So, good thing we found it. Had another error anyway, so that's fine. Let's try one more time. Third time's a charm. Let's make it happen. This one, it deployed. Let's refresh. And we're going to inspect, and we're going to go to network, and we're going to hit start, and we're going to create. And it's loading the adventure, but nothing happens. And that's interesting. There's not even an error, so it never loads the adventure because most likely it's not talking to the actual OpenAI API. So that's the problem. So it leaves it out. I was kind of rushing through a little bit, and that's fine. So we'll get it connected. We'll get it fixed here. We'll get it working, and we'll be able to play this game. And then I can bring the kids in, and they can play it. They can just talk to the AI and just have some fun doing it. Let's see. Look at that, though. It is creating my games. They're just not actually connecting to anything. So that's the problem. So we're going to delete these two. Yeah, see, the assistant thread ID is null. Delete this. Okay. Let's see. All right. Well, to recap YouTube stats, the Harry Potter thing didn't seem to work to give me any more viewers. So, I don't know. I guess I need to try something else. I'm not really sure if anybody has any ideas. Not that anybody can give me any ideas without watching this video and watching all the way to the end, basically. You know, I'm not going to really know exactly how I can improve upon this. Oh, there's a global CSS. Okay, so we're going to get starting with the CSS. Good. Okay, here we go. So, I need to do a bunch of stuff. I need to add in all of these keys. So, you also need the voice ID for 11 Labs. Wait, I didn't want Rachel, but that's okay. Let's see. That's fine. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put in, while this is going through, I am going to add in, oh, I can't. Oh, they're not going to let me do it yet. Okay, that's okay. I'm going to get all those keys right now so I can copy and paste them in. Okay. Your assistant ID, by the way, is up here. So you can grab that as your assistant ID. I need to move this over. And you click on Settings, API Keys, create a new one. And I'll do Harry Potter, choose my own adventure. And just default projects. And then I copy that. And I put it right here. Okay, and then Supabase. We get Supabase and everything. Go to project settings, data API. That's how you get the URL. And the anon key is in the API keys. You can just copy that. And then we need the Supabase service key role, which is below the anon key. And then we need the 11 Labs API key. Okay. And I'm going to copy that. And then I'll get that in there. Okay. So then what's going on next? I'm good with this. Let me go back to voices. And the voice that I want was actually Jane. Is that the one that it was suggesting? I think it might have been. No, I don't know. And then okay. And I'm going to go back to my assistant here. Let's get the Harry Potter assistant. And let's see. Supabase, table editor. Oh, this is the one I need to add to. Actually, I need to add all these in there when it's done. Oh, no. I need to add it into Vercel. Okay. Now, complete the steps to ensure this works correctly. Okay, so I need to include all of this. So I need to go and include all these keys and everything. It created this whole thing. I need to do the OpenAI assistant. Yeah, I need to include all this. Okay, so let's do that. Environmental variables. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add all these in there. I have a couple of them here. So OpenAI key, OpenAI assistant ID, Supabase URL, anon key, Supabase service role key, and the 11 Labs. I'm going to move this over and do this real quick. So this is a pretty boring part, but absolutely necessary to connect all the APIs. And again, it just connected right there for environmental variables. Wait a second. A couple of environmental variables were not created. OpenAI assistant, next public, Supabase key, Supabase URL. Let me add this. Oh, I see why. There was an extra space. You gotta be really careful you don't accidentally add in extra space. And the service role key. Okay, there we go. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Oh, let's just fix the runtime error 1 second. Okay, let's see. This generation uses integration. Complete the steps in chat to ensure. I think we're fine. Okay, please sign in to view your adventure. I need to sign up. Okay, so I don't need that, but that's fine. I'm hating this look. Ah, they made it look hideous. Why did they make it look like this? Okay. Anyway, so let's click sign up. We're gonna sign up. Okay. We'll sign up. Oh, I'm already registered, right? That's right. So let's log in. And okay, what's going on here? Let's deploy to production. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's so many things going wrong on this live stream. This is not fantastic. This does happen sometimes. Again, keep in mind, it's been like 2 hours and I almost have a fully functioning app here, which would have taken me forever just to code by hand. Let's see. Yeah, they just keep having these different errors. Let's see if they'll fix it eventually. No, because this one, again, doesn't have... It's not connected. It's not connected to anything. Okay. Man, I should not have told it to do this. This is not the UI that I had in mind. That's okay. I kind of got the font a little bit right, I guess, but everything else is just... And I definitely didn't want to sign in with Google and GitHub. Oh my god, this is even worse. Wait, before I try to sign in, go to network and make sure. Okay, and now we have an error. Okay. Okay, so then we'll go to this. And we're just going to load this up. Yeah, that's fine. The other one we don't have to worry about. Let's see. Man, they just made it bright yellow. Wow, I really should have told it to get rid of some of this stuff because that is not a good look. There's an explicit requirement from the Radix UI component. I need to make sure next time to tell it to, I don't know, do a clean design instead of what they have. Jeez. What were they thinking? I don't know where the AI sometimes comes up with this stuff. Well, I might be able just to do it right here. No. Okay, let me deploy the changes and see. Might have to end this stream before even completing this and finish this another day. It's taking way too long. Let's see what happens. Go to Supabase. I'm a user here. This one, let's see what it says. Let's sign in. Oh, okay, here we go. So it signed in for me. Jeez, guys. Okay, we're choosing this to dark. Jeez, Adventure name. First. Undecided. Begin adventure. Fingers crossed. Whee. Try one more time. Session response. Okay. And we're just going to paste that in there. Okay, we are getting very, very close. So invalid thread ID. It probably doesn't have a thread ID. Because how could it? It just created, it's supposed to create a new chat. I probably should mention that. When I first start a adventure, it's created. Man, I need to fix this. This is killing me. Yeah, I can't stand this design. Oh, look at that though. Look, little lights. Okay, see, like, what? I don't know why it went with a look from 20 years ago, but it is what it is. So, I don't know. Guess we're stuck with it. Let's see what happens. Oh, and this one. In real-time subscription. Let's see. So I need to just update the API keys here. Let's see what it does. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to go to variables. And we're going to add the open API key, and let me go get that. Ay, 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 ay. Copy. Paste. Okay, that's in there. It's going to create the open API service. Let me add in the assistant API as well. So here's the assistant key. Let's see if they can throw that into reference. Okay. Okay. Ugly design you have. Please make it clean and simple. Jeez, what a hideous design. Yes. That's right. So close. We're so close. Oh my goodness, it's 40 minutes over. These errors. Ah! Guess I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, 2 hours or so for creating something like this is bonkers. Especially if you don't have the ability to do it, which, if I was to do backend, this would just take me forever. So let's see what it does. I don't know which one's going to win first. I need to get rid of this ugliness. But, we'll see if both of them work, maybe. Maybe both work, and then we're fine. All right, let's see. Sign in. Start a new adventure. Create. Failed to create session. Okay. Can I debug in here? No. Okay, I gotta deploy the changes, I think, and see. Okay. Let me deploy the changes. So both of these will deploy. Did it just deploy? No, it's still publishing. Okay. I don't know why this one is leading with sign in. Yeah, again, a lot of times what I end up doing once I get to the end and all the functionality is working is I have to do a bunch of CSS stuff. I normally just have I'll just specifically detail what I want changed. It normally does a pretty good job of that. Okay. But we're so close. Okay, here we go. Okay. I'm going to log out and log back in. Just to be safe. Delete. Look at that. I can even delete from the database. That's pretty nice. Create. Oh, wait, shoot. I was supposed to do this. Network. Create. Oh, my God. Same error. Ah! Yeah. Okay. So, this one is still publishing. Okay, good. Let's sign in. Hopefully this one is not broken, but we'll see. Let's find out. Good. Test. No preferences. Begin adventure. Okay, so it's running into some real issues with the assistant ID. It needs to have a knowledge base, so I need to figure this one out. Okay. So they both have the same problem. Okay, go to the Supabase project dashboard, navigate to table editor, select session, carefully check if the column OpenAI thread exists. Ah! If it exists, ensure it's type text or chart. Okay, so let me go on this other screen and do this real quick. Actually, I guess I gotta show you. In case anybody ever decides to watch, no, it does not exist. So, it said to do it as text, I believe. Well, usually automatic if you're adding the columns that are immediately running this. Try forcing a schema refresh. Okay. So, it was the mismatch here. So, okay, so it was missing a column. Let me see if this one's the same thing. Invalid or missing. This is the most likely cause. This might be correct. No, I don't think so. Open AI API key. Nope, it's in there. So they gave two very different answers. Let's publish. And let's see if the first one actually got it working and got it right. That would be fantastic if it did. Thread ID isn't even in here. Where's the thread ID? Let's see, was that the error? Open AI thread ID. So that one also didn't have that. So that's the same thing. Okay, so yeah, that's what's going on. That's why the thread isn't working. Refresh. Network. Start new adventure. Random. Thread ID undefined. Expect an ID that begins with thread. Is that the same exact thing that I need thread ID in here? Let's do thread ID. Let's do text. Let's save it. That literally might be it. I'm going to delete this game session. Okay, and then I'm going to clear it. Let's create it. No. That's annoying. Okay, so there might be something else. Thread ID does not exist in your database when you start a new adventure. It's supposed to be created at the moment. Your browser sends a post to the API session. Your server receives a request, calls the API using thread ID. Yeah, okay. The invalid tells us the process is breaking down between steps 3 and 5. To create a thread, but for some reason, most likely an invalid API key. You cannot fix an invalid key. Okay. Let's add in another open API key API. Okay, let's do it. Let's try one more time. API key. Create a new secret key. 3 this time. Create it. And we're going to go here to variables and the open API key. Is that how you write it? All right, close that out. Open AI API key. Let me make sure that is correct. Open AI API key. Yes. Okay. This should be done. Let me deploy the changes. Again, I don't even think I necessarily even have to. Well, let's see. Put an ID that given a thread. That means your backend code called an open API that requires a thread ID, likely thread messages create. Okay. They're adding some logs, which is good. Oh. Again, it gets stuck on weird stuff. Like, it can make all this stuff happen, and then it just gets strangely stuck on things. Okay. Let's try one more time, I guess. See, it did. What if I hit continue adventure? A million errors. Okay, so okay, hold on one second. Network. Okay. Okay, something else is happening. Oh, might be a little hard to debug now. Let's see what the issue is here. I thought they were gonna add in more stuff. What happened to the rest of the errors? Thread ID undefined expected ID that begins with thread. That's so weird. It's okay. I should have looked this up. Okay, hold on. Hold on, let me refresh this. I'm just wondering, like, it seems to be really struggling with this. I had this problem again when I created another one with ChatGPT, and I don't know why there's just a disconnect where I can't connect the assistant specifically. Like, they want me to prompt in the code, and I don't want to put my prompt in the code. I want to talk specifically to an assistant. So I might just have to end it a bit early here. A new thread, specifically it happens. This function is called navigate to functions, find the logs. I mean, look, is creating the what is it called? The game session. Yeah, there's something, man, it's getting late too. This is normally the type of thing where when you're working pretty late, you want to sleep on it and then come back and take a look and reassess. I might have to just dig through the code myself to see what's going on. In fact, another good thing that I do that tends to work is I will ask what files, actually it's this one right here. So I would just go to here. Is this file set up correctly to connect with the OpenAI assistant and create a new thread for each session? And then I just copy and paste the whole code in. And ChatGPT is normally pretty good at debugging as well. If the game session is being created for your Supabase every time, it means the call to the create open. Not throwing an immediate error and stop station before the Supabase inserts. Okay, guys, I'm taking a break for now. I might start it again later, but taking a break for right now. It's already getting late here. It's been almost 2 hours. So unfortunately, the game did not get completed. I'll try to complete it tomorrow. And we also didn't get a single viewer. So it's like a double whammy here. All right. Well, have a good